Welcome, everybody. Eric Johnson with you. It's time once again to talk a little country music. And of course, this next group is coming through Nebraska, part of the Strange Hours Tour from the University of North Texas to all the radio stations and streaming platforms across the world. Numerous hits and your favorites, including Crazy Girl, Love Ain't, Drunk Last Night, and so much more. James, John, Chris, and my next guest, Mike, it's the Eli Young Band.
Hey,
Welcome.
hey,
Woo!
hey, thanks for having me, man.
I'm sorry I didn't get a parade. The economy's rough, so you got to
Yeah,
overly
hey, this
caffeinate
is
that guy.
perfect.
So
This is perfect. The graphics are there. We're here. All we're missing is the whiskey.
that's right, and that'll
Yeah,
happen soon. I'll guarantee that.
yeah, yeah.
But hey, Mike, I appreciate the time, man, and of course, I know you've been busy. Little recap: CMA Fest. You guys were all in with the who's who down there in Nashville. I mean, how did everything go?
I mean, we're always because we live in Texas, so we fly in, we get stuff done, and then we fly back out. CMA Fest is always kind of a fun week because it's really all about the fans. So,
Mhm.
um, but now that we have kids, it's like get in, get out, we get done, try to make it home by bedtime. It's kind of one of those things. When you make that choice to live outside of the Nashville music business realm, you got to make some sacrifices and take some late night flights. So it was
Well,
good. Other than that, we're going to be back there next week,
yeah.
starting to promote again for the new album, and I think we're going to do the Opry, and we're going to do a bunch of promotion for Strange Hours. So
Which, by the way, everybody, coming out August 1st. Remember that. Make sure and pre-order on the Eli Young Band website and many more.
yeah.
But yeah, we were get to talking a little bit. Family life. You've juggled, the professional circuit and at home. Dad, how do you do it?
I mean, you just have to do it. I think that sometimes sacrifices have to be made on both sides. Luckily, my kids and my wife have, they've been dealing with it for a long time. They get 110% of me when I'm home, um, and I just try to make sure that when I'm here, I'm available to them. And then when I'm on the road, and I'm out there, I give it 110% out there. And so, but there have to be sacrifices that have to be made. I think that one of the things, obviously, we live in Texas, so being able to fly home to a place where it's not where you're not always getting that phone call, hey, can you be here you know, in 30 minutes for this opportunity or whatever. While those may be missed opportunities, it helps a little bit with the juggling of the priorities. Um, so, we always make it home for birthdays. We always make it home for those important days, and we don't let money do the talking. On in those instances.
Yeah, that's good man. Good man. It's a lot of activities, of course, as well as anybody, activities juggle throughout the summer season. And I don't know how you can do it. You got the Strange Hours tour in full effect. I took a look at some of the locations. Man, you're going from coast to coast and then some here. Tell us a little bit about the tour, what to expect this year.
It's a lot of fun. I think that there's going to be, obviously we are going to play um, the hits and the stuff that well, people won't let us leave the building unless we play. But the fun thing is there's a lot of really cool stuff on this record, and the records that we've made in the last 5 years. Like we did Love Talking out right out of COVID, and that was a really neat record. So we're gonna play like a good um, wide range of our catalog, but it's gonna be fun. There's a lot of really really fun stuff that make the live show um, really be exciting. and we've got a few, little new light tricks and some, smoke and those kind of things that make it more fun, but and maybe some surprises when it comes to some cover songs here and there.
Well, and it's always
Lots of
exciting.
jumping around, lots of sweat,
Well,
all
of
that
course,
stuff.
it's summertime. You're going to be sweating anyhow.
Yeah, yeah. Well, we're from Texas, so we're good at sweating. It's one of our
That's
talents. Yeah,
welcome to Nebraska. It's a dry heat. Yeah.
yeah. I'll take that dry heat because that humid heat. Whew.
Oh,
Yeah,
I
I grew
bet.
up in the
I
Houston
bet.
area. I know what that that humid heat is. It is
Oh
no
yeah, and
fun.
the skeeters are like this darn big,
Yeah,
and stuff like yeah.
yeah,
We're talking
yeah,
here with Mike, Eli Young Band coming through Nebraska, part of the Strange Hours tour, and of course, you and your group, James, John, and Chris. You guys started out University of North Texas, go Mean Green. Tell me about how did you guys all kind of get together? I mean, it was just kind of you couple of paired up, and then you kind of met each other kind of individually, and now, boom, 20 some odd years later.
yeah. I mean, it was just kind of one of those organic experiences in college. James and I were roommates, and then but John and Chris were roommates, and it was kind of one of those things. Those three guys actually met before I came to college. They started in '98, and I started in '99, and so they were kind of all jamming and playing in a garage here and there before I ever came along. And so when James and I became roommates, we started writing songs, um, and it's like, hey, well, let's try like playing all four of us, and then we had a couple other buddies that would come and play with us, and um, it kind of just happened organically. When James and I started writing songs, um, we started playing some open mic nights and some things like at this local place, and people would say, we're gonna go see Eli and Young James play at our bar or whatever, and so we would play acoustic, just him and I, and then once we started playing as the four of us, they would get up on three or four songs, and and then that slowly got bigger and bigger and bigger, and it took a few years to get there, but and
Could
then here
you,
we are, 25
I was
years
gonna
later.
say, did you guys ever imagine, going from, the bar life to now you got fairs, concerts, large venues, stuff like that? I mean, that's just life-changing experience for you
Yeah,
guys, isn't it?
yeah. I mean, we really like our jobs. We really couldn't picture ourselves doing anything else. Now, I think back then, maybe we were a little naive, or we just kind of were, um, the next big thing around the corner, and we kept our eye on that ball for so many years. It was really just about getting to that next small level, whatever it might have been. And then we just worked hard, and it didn't hurt that we really loved getting on stage and playing music, So
And I'm excited because we were talking just off air here about your next album, Strange Things. The Strange Hours CD coming out. Reading up about this, it was kind of unique because I was kind of noticing how you guys described it as you guys are heading home, back home to Denton. You have everybody together, some buds together. It was kind of a kumbaya moment, kind of sparking a new chapter for the Eli Young Band, as it was said. What can you give us a little context about that?
yeah, I mean, so we did this album at the Panhandle House Studio in Denton, Texas, where we did our level record. We've worked there a lot over the years, here and there, but it's been a while since we did a full record. Um, in the studio, and this is so we kind of felt full circle a little bit, I think, with this album, because it Level is the album that kind of started it for us. It was the independent record that kind of got us noticed before we signed a deal. And so like I said, over the years we've done a lot of work at Panhandle House, um but because it's 20 minutes from our house, from
Yeah, of course.
where we live. And so, um, coming around, like we feel like, over the years, every album we've made, and whether no matter what producers we were in the studio with, it was always this big event, and there's all these folks that come into the studio, and it's fun to make a record that way, and it's a big party, and um, there's people everywhere and other musicians, and everybody's here to make the next Eli Young Band record, and this brought us kind of back to those days where it was just us four, with our producers and a couple buddies that songwriters that have written with us, that are going to collaborate on the record a little bit, and the engineers, and the studio owner, who we is a really good friend of ours, producer, who produced the Level record, and that was it. No A&R folks, no publicists, no agents, no managers, just us. And it was really fun, man. It just the creative process just broken down to its core, and it was just a really fun moment to have for the four of us, because after 25 years, things kind of become this machine of sorts. This is
Yeah.
what we do, this is what happens, this is how we do it.
This
This
is
who needs to be here to make this happen, and whatever. And so it's kind of one of those things of letting the creativity lead, instead of the business part, and made for a really great record. So there's a lot of really cool stuff that we wrote for this album. We wrote everything on the wrote or co-wrote everything on the record. So there was really just no outside voices pushing us one way or the other. It was we went with our gut the entire way. So
straight from the heart rather than the pocketbook, in other words, right?
yeah, I mean, we never really led that way anyway, but
Yeah.
there are moments where it's like you're trying to make choices based on what, um, and you're always making that choice, but you always want to create something you're proud of, and we always have.
Yeah.
We've always made records that we know that we could play for the rest of our lives without regret, and but this album was really more leading with your gut and leading with your soul and heart than we have for a long time. So
Well, I know myself and a lot of fans, and we appreciate that greatly because it really shows the true essence of what the Eli Young Band can deliver.
yeah.
And I'm excited to get the album. I know when you get a pre-order, it sounds like you guys will be able to uh, take part in signing some of those. Is that true?
Yeah,
You
we
get
signed. Yeah, we signed. Well, which we haven't signed them yet, but because the album doesn't come out till August 1st. But
Yep.
we've signed a bunch. We're going to sign a bunch of vinyls and CD
See?
covers. I wasn't even sure we were gonna make. We're actually gonna make cassettes this time, which is pretty neat.
Oh
Um,
wow.
yeah, like I don't know. I think we're gonna
Well,
do
my
like a,
teenager face just kind of got the tingles a little bit
yeah,
there.
yeah. I think we're gonna do like some kind of special thing with them. There, I don't know if there'll be actual like. Um, I don't know if we'll be selling them or whatever, but I think there might be some kind of special release thing that we're going to do with those. But yeah, we're going to sign a bunch of them, and you can actually the album doesn't come out to August 1st, but we've slowly been releasing a few songs here and there, and so right now you can get like the first five. We've released five songs from the album, and some of them, like as a songwriter, some songs I'm really proud of. I think that people can hear so much of Eli Young Band and where we came from musically and lyrically in these songs.
We'll be able to hear some of that on stage here coming up soon.
Yeah, oh yeah, yeah.
Oh,
We'll be
good.
playing some of
I
those.
like to hear.
We're not gonna play the entire record. We're not gonna be do that whole thing where it's like, oh, guys, so don't normally the new stuff is like the restroom break for some folks, but so we'll try to make sure that we just dip our toe in the water a little bit for the live show in the beginning.
Awesome. Well, talking here with Mike, head of the show coming through the Strange Hours tour, coming through Nebraska and into Minnesota too. So as you got an opportunity, if you can't make Milligan, heading up to the north there, and you can't miss it. Check them out, EliYoungBand.com for tour dates. One more question here before we kind of pull things away for you. I've always wanted to ask you this. With everything going on, after the early 2000s and your rise in your guys' music career, how important has it been? We talked about the vinyls and the cassettes, the nostalgia, but realistically, how important has it been for you guys to be on streaming and uh, kind of gently getting away from the traditional radio and being on everybody's earbuds worldwide?
I mean, we've always been open to new avenues and the changing of the industry. I think that eh, we all have to be ready to evolve.
Mhm.
And I think at some points the music industry has fought evolution and they've lost. And they had to play catch up. A lot of the music industry did. Um, but we've always been open to the change and the evolution of the industry. So like right now, being able to sit here and do this interview, in my, home studio, and being able to do this, and and this is one of the biggest evolutions that happened so dramatically during COVID.
Yeah.
Um, but the reach that you're able to make in situations like this, and then going towards being able to folks streaming your music and being able to find it for us. Obviously, like we've been around for a long time, so being able to have that extra reach is a blessing. But for the new artist and folks that have an opportunity that say some of the record labels would have never given an opportunity to, is incredible. I mean, because I honestly, there were a lot of artists they probably wouldn't have given the time of day. And look, and they're rock stars, and they deserve it because they've got this huge talent. I think that so many artists get put in a box and they get shoved into a box, and streaming and the opportunity for musicians to take their music straight to the people has put the music in the hands of the fans and the artists, which is incredible.
That's awesome, man. Well, I appreciate all the little time you've been able to give me.
Oh,
We'd like
my
to do
pleasure.
something here before we always sign off. A little shoot from the hip, as we say. So I'm going to give you some
Ready,
questions,
ready.
and I want you to shoot back at me. So first and foremost, once you're off the road, off the stage, and back home, what's the first dad activity that you excited to do with the kids?
Play catch. Both my kids are ball players, so most of the time when I'm getting home, I'm going straight to a softball or a baseball tournament. So I never really get home until late late night on Sundays, because I go straight to the ball field most of the time.
On the road, of course, lots of activities to include. Any of you guys gamers when you travel?
I'm not, but like James is he loves to have his PlayStation and Xbox on the road, and then he actually travels with his Switch. He's a gamer, and the
Is
other
he?
two guys are golfers. Um, so you know, it's busy at home. So when I get on the road and I can take an opportunity in the afternoon, take a little nap,
Ah,
I'm a
I
napper.
hear they're glorious nowadays, man. I tell you, as a parent, I hear everybody brag about them, but I never get to experience one.
Yeah, yeah. You gotta sneak away and grab a little 20 minute nap every once in
20,
a while.
20 minute, more like a couple hours for yours truly. This
Yeah,
tank runs on empty pretty easily.
I hear
Well,
you.
last question for you. Of course, you've been out in the ball field, so you know the fine cuisine, of course, on the road too. What is your favorite go-to food while you're out and about?
Hmm. Man, I mean, I don't disagree with most food. I really love food. But I love pizza. I love good pizza. I love bad pizza. I love cold pizza, hot pizza, thin pizza, thick pizza, pizza with pineapple, pizza without pineapple.
Oh, pineapple. Okay,
I mean,
okay.
I like it all.
Yeah.
That's the thing. So I love pizza. It's really nice to find a good Indian restaurant. Love
Oh.
Indian food. So Indian food, Thai food. You
See,
know,
I talked with Austin Snell, and I mentioned something about Runzas, and he goes, "What's that?" And I'm like, "He's used to the Big Macs at McDonald's," and I'm like, "Oh, do we
mm,
got a story to tell you?"
yeah, yeah.
Have you had Runza?
I have. Um, I'm trying to think. Oh, like once, I think.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. It's unique. I told Austin that it's a unique deal, but
yeah. I'm pretty sure. No.
yeah. Well, glad to glad to have you. I'm glad you're able to stay at home and relax with the little ones and just make sure to keep mama happy. That's the biggest thing.
I try. Do my best.
I hope our paths cross very soon, my friend. I appreciate it, Mike, for giving us a few, and can't wait to see you in Nebraska. And like I said, folks, Strange Hours tour full effect this summer. Album coming out August 1st. Pre-order. You might see that
Yeah,
man's signature on there on your very own vinyl. Hey,
yeah.
I can't believe we're saying that, but that's
And I
been
hope
just,
you like the album too.
oh, amen, amen to that. Thank
Yeah.
you, man. Appreciate it. Can't wait to see you
All
soon.
right. Thanks,
Okay.
TJ. Appreciate you, brother. We'll see you.
Yeah. See ya.